Okay, we are live, ladies. So something I always do, I always have these pom-poms by my desk because this is what I do when any success comes with technology, so, or anything that I'm doing when I'm celebrating. So welcome. I'm so delighted to have the three of you today. There is another gal that's going to join us. I'm hoping she had a death in the family.
Oh.
So I know Miller is handling a situation right now. So I'm hoping that she can join us. But if not, we're going to go ahead with the three of us for the 8 weeks. And I'm just going to, well, I think what I'll do first of all is what I love to do is just get us sort of in this room and in this space together. So I'm just going to ask you to set an intention with the idea of really getting something very, very valuable from this mastermind today. And sometimes it's just one thing that's a new idea for us or suggestion that can really get us moving forward. So I'm just going to, I just kind of like to close my eyes for a minute, and I'm going to set my intention for all of you. So just go ahead and do that, and that way we'll get very present and very focused. And, you know, we'll leave everyone we have to take care of, my sick cat and everything else behind us right now, and we'll just be very present. Okay, good. All right. Now I'm going to show you something that you can do on your program. If you look at mine, you can see my name, and I have a little graphic there as well. So in the Google world, that's called your lower third. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, Sylvia, I don't think you can, I'm pretty sure you can't do it on your phone, but as I say, this will be recorded, so it'll be in the community, and you can go back and look at it any time. So Angela can't seem to get her picture viewed by us, so I don't know what's that, but you can hear us, right, Angela? Angela, can you hear us? Okay, she may be trying to sort some things out, but we're going to go ahead. So on the left-hand side of your screen, you should see a whole lot of icons. So Sylvia, I don't know if you can see that on your phone or not. Possibly not?
No.
No, okay. Well, like I say, this will be recorded. So you're going to go down the screen, and then you're going to come to something that says Hangout Toolbox. So Miller, you should be able to do this. So it's a little,
Yes.
It's got pliers in it, and or a wrench. We all know what that is, right? And a little red box with a toolbox. So you're going to click on that. And Sylvia, you can do this once you're on.
I'm making notes too. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. But as I said, it's recorded. So click on what says Hangout Toolbox. What will show up on your right is the Hangout Toolbox, and it'll be in a long bar. So at the very top of that, Miller, you're going to click, the first icon is a person. So click on that.
Mine is request for permission.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do that first then. Okay.
Oh,
And just say
accept,
yes and allow to all of these things.
Okay.
Okay. And then you should have that Hangout Toolbox open up. Have you got it?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So right underneath it, it says the words lower third. So you see where my name, Dana Smithers, comes up on my lower third? Type in your name there. In that first.
I don't see lower third.
Oh, click on the icon.
On the picture. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I'm sorry, what are we typing in?
That's okay. Just your name, how you'd like it to show up on the screen.
Okay.
Okay, and then right underneath that, there's another blank space. So that's where I've typed in my URL, my website link. So you could type that in for your website. Okay. Now, right underneath that, it says choose logo. So if you have a logo that you can quickly go and get, you could put that in. Or if you don't put anything in there, then your picture just shows up. So do you have a logo, Miller?
So do I need to put my picture there, or it'll show up
Well, a
itself?
picture will show up automatically if you don't put a logo, all right? Then if you keep going down, it says saved presets. So just type in your name. Oh, okay. Okay.
And click save.
Click save, and then at the very top, right beside those words lower third, there's an on-off toggle, so you just need to switch it to on. You see it? Beside the words
I clicked
lower.
save, and something came up. It said, please enable either lower third
exactly.
or custom overlay before saving.
So just go up to the top where it says lower third, and move your cursor over. It say off right now. Move your cursor over to on.
Okay.
There you go. And look at you.
And then save.
Yeah, well, you already, if you save it, then when you come back to it another time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that cool?
I see it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to, now to get rid of that on the side, just go to the toolbox, but just click it once and it'll close, so it'll come off your screen, okay? Now I'm going to go answer Angela, who can't open the toolbox, and we can't hear her. Okay. So I'm going to ask her to go out and come back in. And it's not. And also, Sylvia, you can't see this either.
No.
But it's you'll see at the top right when you're on a different screen that you can do a chat, and you can chat, and I can see if you have something to say, or if you wanted to leave an email address or something for somebody, they can do that. So I've just sent that to Angela, so we'll just see. And ladies, next week when we get on this, it'll be much easier, right?
Yes.
We'll just. Now, are you still on vacation, Sylvia?
Yes.
Oh, are you? For how long?
Till Monday. Yeah, Monday afternoon we leave.
That's nice. Excellent. Weather's great, right?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, from Spokane, Washington to Cancun, Mexico is like night and day. Yeah, it's the first time we've been here, so we're already planning our next vacation.
Yeah, we were there in December, and the weather was great and everything. So I've just asked Angela, she can hear us, so she's just gonna come back and come in again. But once you get the hang of these Hangouts, they're really you know, they're pretty simple. They're all going to be recorded, so it's a nice I call it a sandbox to play in. So have you all? Did you manage to print this?
Yes.
Miller, well, you may not have. Did you have time, Miller, to print that?
No.
Yep.
No, I have it. I have it up, as a matter of fact, but I haven't printed it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just have it for next week, because it's a really easy way to keep track of what you said you're going to do, and those kinds of things. So I'm just going to wait for Angela to come in again, but we're going to get started. So how we run the Mastermind is that you'll each be given 15 minutes, and I have to go and get my timer because I forgot it, but you'll each be given 15 minutes, and what you're going to do is tell us what you need help with. But since this is an introductory one, I'd also like you to just introduce yourself, you know, tell us where you live, what your business is, and then how long you've been in business. And then what we'll do then we'll come back to each person, and then you will give whatever your challenge is right now, right? So we don't want to hear 10 things that you want to manifest. And since I am law of attraction person, my goal today is help us getting clear on what it is we want. So bringing one challenge, because we're going to meet weekly, and I know that you have other business to do as well, right? So, okay, I can hear Angela.
Okay, so I'm back.
Okay, and we can hear you, Angela. We just can't see you. Okay, so what I was telling the ladies is, now Angela, have you got the sheet? Did you print these?
Yes, I do, yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do is, just before we start the 15-minute timer for everybody, in that 15 minutes, you're going to take about 5 minutes to tell us what your challenge is or what your goal is that you need help with. So that's 5 minutes. The next 5 minutes is, us having discussion about solutions for you. And then the last 5 minutes will be you committing to a goal.
Okay.
Does that make sense, everybody? And I'll repeat that as well. But that way it's nice and tight. And then if we need time after, we've got time, to talk about something like, oh yeah, I thought of another idea or whatever, right? Okay, so ladies, I'm just going to get my timer because I forgot it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to turn my camera off. So this is what happens when you have to step away. And you gals can just talk amongst yourselves, and then we'll have formal introductions, okay?
Okay. Oh. I'm trying to get this silly camera to work.
I see Angela's picture when Dana muted. Angela's picture comes up on my screen. Hi, Angela.
Hi, how are you? Now you're
I'm
first.
good. How are you?
I'm good. And where are you? You're in.
At the moment, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, but I live in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, nice. And then Sylvia, you're in.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm back. Okay. So Miller, you just introduced yourself. So go ahead again. And when you're talking, I can put you up on the screen so that when you ask your questions and all of that, then you're spotlighted then. So Miller, you're currently in Atlanta?
I'm in Atlanta at the moment, right?
Yeah.
I live in Asheville, North Carolina.
And what is your business?
My business is named Spacescapes. I do home staging and interior decorating.
Okay. Great.
I'm also a feng shui professional.
Oh.
Do not add as much feng shui to it now. I should say I haven't kept up with feng shui enough to do specific feng shui consultations, even though I do get some for it, not a lot. But I do use it. I've studied it for so long. I do use it in my staging and in my decorating, just not the specific traditional feng shui application. And I have been doing that since, so I started as a feng shui professional in 2002 and slowly added first redesign and then home staging, actually when I sold my home and realized I spent way too much money to sell it as fast as I did, and that I didn't want some of the improvements that I made. And then, so that was in 2006, which is about when I moved to Asheville in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also added green design to it, thinking that would make me different, but I moved to Asheville and everybody does green design. So
and
it didn't set me apart at all.
What's green design?
It's still good to know. It's good to know.
What do you call green design, Miller?
Green design has to do with energy. Green design has to do with energy efficiency and the materials that are used in building and decorating.
Okay.
So that this green and green materials, how it's made, where it's made, distance it travels, all of those carbon footprint, all those things. Mm-hmm.
And you say a lot of people.
I was fortunate to study I studied green design in New York City. It was a year that I went there, And I was fortunate that the people I studied under were architects and interior designers who also were feng shui professionals.
Wow.
So it was being a different look to green design. So often green design forgets that there's a person attached to all of this that they do.
Okay, I'm going to look at your website again because I don't know if I saw that on there. That's pretty impressive.
I've never heard of that before.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive, and it might be something that makes you different. You know, even if you think everybody's doing it, what you just told me was very, very intriguing to me because I like how you care about the environment and people, right? That's a beautiful combination, and you've studied a lot.
I have.
Yeah, a lot. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Miller. Yeah, you've studied a lot. Okay, excellent. All right, I'm going to go to Sylvia next. Whoops, what happened there? Click me. Sylvia. Now, why did you not, you're not showing up, Sylvia.
I can see her still. Just not the, it's not a live view.
You can see her?
Yeah, but it's not a live view.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the iPhones obviously are not as good as having a computer, but we're good. All right,
might have
Sylvia.
something to do with the phone or when I'm talking.
No, you go ahead now. Well, we know you're in lovely Mexico.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what's gotten stuck there a sec. Let's just see. Okay, Angela, I'm going to go to you and we'll come back to Sylvia.
Okay.
Even we just see your beautiful picture.
My blue eyes.
Yes.
So just a little bit about myself. I'm a home stager and would like to grow the redesign portion of my business. I've been doing home staging for probably about the last 4 years. Started off doing full finishing and decorative painting of furniture and thought I would take an interior design course, but decided I didn't want to go back to school for that long. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then found out about home staging and got involved in that, and I absolutely love it. And I still am struggling with growing the business to where I would like it to be.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop you there, and I'll be doing this throughout our calls anyway, just because I am a law of attraction trainer. So we're just going to change those words struggling into I'm in the process of.
Okay, I'm in the process of growing the business. I have room for additional clients.
Excellent. And more. You never stop. More. And more, universe. Yeah, I always say, I'm open to the possibilities, or I'm open to receiving infinite abundance from Source, however it may come to me, right? I don't care how it comes, right? But instead of the word struggling or trying, we just say I'm in the process of attracting more clients because it's got a much better energetic feel to it. Okay, good. Yes. Okay.
And I guess that's it. I'm in the frozen north. I'm in Ontario, Canada, and we just keep getting snow and snow. Yeah. It's roughly, well, I don't know in Fahrenheit, but this morning it was about -27 with the wind chill. So
wow. Yeah. That's cold. Asheville doesn't get that cold. I lived in Asheville, actually, for a couple of years, interestingly enough. So where are you outside of Toronto?
I'm about an hour north of Toronto.
Okay, and what's the city that you're in?
Caledon, Ontario.
Caledon, yeah.
Caledon East, actually.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, and so you've been doing this about 4 years, and started with the full finishing because I've seen the work that you've done and how you like to decorate and create, and so looking to add more redesign. Okay, Sylvia, let's thank you, Angela. And yeah, so once all of you get into your right computers and you can get set up, you can set up that lower third and, it'll be easier going. All right, we've got you, Sylvia, live.
I missed Angela, but I'll go back and
yes, yeah.
I'll go back and listen to it before.
Yeah.
So anyway, Spokane, Washington, is where I live. I started a home staging business about going on 10 years ago, and started out really slow. I have a business degree that I got earlier, so I always worked in business, and then I realized that I have a passion for interior design, and I started going back to school, and so moved to Spokane, and then started the business after getting certified and taking lots of training and practicing a lot with my friends.
Yeah.
And now I've been doing it for 10 years, and it's actually very successful. It's it's kind of the go-to staging company in Spokane. Where
Wow.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks. It was a lot of hard work, though. It's now gotten a little overwhelming for me. So the reason I'm doing this is to try to figure out how to have a life again, because it just kind of took over my life, and I have 2 young kids. Well, they're 10, so they're not too young anymore, but I would like to spend some time with them and still have a successful company. And spend time with my husband. I got married a year and a half ago, so I did all this while I was single, a mom with young kids.
Yeah, so definitely.
Love it. I just love it. And I worked so hard to get here that I just don't want to see it. I just don't want to dismantle it.
Right.
So,
no, and there's no reason to. Yeah, there's no reason to.
And that's what I'm hoping to find out how.
Yeah, no, I've just been coaching. Sorry?
We have about 26 homes of furniture in our warehouse that are floating around or that could come back to our warehouse. We don't have enough room for them to come back, so we just float them around to different houses. And then I do probably an average of 2 consultations for realtors who are paying for the service. 2 consultations probably a day, it averages. So I do have 3 employees, and one of the employees is a lead stager, and she is now capable of doing the vacant stagings, and the other 2 are drivers and warehouse guys. They're brothers. They've been working for me for a couple of years now. They're awesome. They'll help even set up if we need them to, so they just kind of fill in, bring the furniture from here to there. So that's
so how many stagings would you do a week then, Sylvia?
We probably do just a couple a week. We've got a D-stage and stage probably a couple a week.
Okay. An
average. It's getting busier though. Like we're out of furniture already, and it's not even a busy season. Like we can't do it. We have 2 more houses we need to do, and I'm kind of at this point where do I get more furniture or do I just tell people no? So it's a lot of investment just in the furniture alone, and we don't have it all inventoried. I'm in the process of inventorying it because we grew so fast that I wasn't using a program of any kind, and now I've got Darby, and I'm trying to get it in there, so I value what we have.
It might be that this is where you cap it.
Yes,
right.
And I'm really good about that. Like I really know that might be it right there. Yeah, just wait until a house is free, or tell people I can't do it, or raise my prices.
Yeah, and that's what we'll talk about, right? But it's really the most important thing is to get clear on what you want, right? So I can hear things that you're saying, but we've got to let the universe know, and you need to know that this is what I want to do. Because you're only married a year and a half, right?
I know. Yeah.
So that's a whole other ball game there.
I know. It's taking up. He wants more of my time. And
I wonder why.
Not having any time. I know.
I wonder why. Alrighty. Okay. So what we're going to do is, So this has taken us, just good half hour of getting familiar with each other. And as I said, this other lady, Monique, will join us or not. She's just assessing with this death in the family. Whether she can commit to this or not. So if it's the 3 of us, wonderful, or 4, counting me. And if she does join us, that'll be great too. She is in Utah and has also a very successful business, but hers is more a decorating and design business that she's grown, and I think she has some of. I won't speak for her. Let's just see if she joins a group or not. Okay, so what I'd like to do is, on that sheet, you can see that there's, I'll just get back to me for a minute. On that sheet, there's a clock at the right-hand corner there. So you can just write people's names in. So we've got Angela Miller, and Sylvia. So we'll just start that way today, and we'll see what happens. So you might want to take notes. As I say, everything will be recorded, but you are going to, by the end of it, we will know what your goals are for next week. And I trust this process. I have conducted masterminds before, and I've also been in masterminds, and I'm currently in a mastermind, a weekly one. So I know how powerful these can be. They are more powerful, of course, if we commit to the goal and we accomplish it. And you know what? Sometimes we're doing it the day before. Honestly, I'm telling you that, it's like, okay, I got all these things to do. I'm busy. Oh, yeah, I got to get that done. And you will get it done. And it will feel very good getting it done. Okay, so Angela, we're going to start with you first, even though we can only see your beautiful turquoise eyes and that pink lipstick, which is gorgeous. Yeah. So you'll have to figure out what the glitchy poo is. I don't know. So as I was saying, I don't know if you heard this or not, but how we'll structure this is I've got a timer, so you're going to have 5 minutes to tell us what your goal or challenge is.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 minutes, we'll discuss it. We'll have input. And when you want to give input, just raise your hand. Now, Angela, you won't be able to do that, so you may just when someone else is doing theirs, just say, it's Angela, I'd like to say something, okay? Does that make sense, ladies? That way we can see. Okay, so Angela, you go ahead with what your challenge is at this particular time. Whoops, no, just 1 sec. Can I put this on? Okay.
My challenges would be sort of what I started to say, or what I was saying when I was introducing myself, that I've been doing this for 4 years, and last year I had 9 houses staged at the same time in the month of March, and I thought, okay, great, now things are really going to pick up, and every year I've gotten better from when I first started, and I found that this year, I guess I've been expecting that the phone would be ringing more and that I would be getting more calls, and I'm finding that it's slow. It's slow, and I don't want to. I'm at a point in my life that I don't want to be busy every day, but I do want to be busier than I am right now. Okay. And in kind of anticipation of this phone call, I thought, what would Dana want me to do? So
Ange and I've coached her before, so we know each other. Yeah.
So I thought she would want me to call the realtors that I haven't heard from and make 5 phone calls. So I made 7 phone calls.
All right. Okay. Great.
So a couple of them I talked to, but ones that I had worked with last year that were kind of calling me in January, I haven't heard from them. So it's hard to stay positive when I feel like now I'm going backwards. I had such a great year last year, and I don't want to go backwards. I want to be going forwards.
Okay, so we'll just give you a little mantra there, and I want you to write this down, Angela.
Okay.
It's just the same one I use all the time. I am in the process of growing my business. And then I want you to add this, and the universe is supporting me to achieve my goals.
Okay.
So that's I'm in the process. Well, you read it back to me, Angela, and tell me how it feels to you.
Honestly, it feels like I have been saying this, and I'm still not where I want to be.
Okay, so right now you're not believing it, right?
Well, I guess I feel like I'm saying that, but I'm not getting the results that I want.
Okay, so if with the law of attraction, if we say it and then we go and we go down in feeling, it's not working for us, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind, that when you're going to feel like, okay, things are moving forward. So what I'd like to do then, so have you put out there what you want? So basically you want more clients, but how many days a week do you want to work, Angela?
I'd like to work probably 3 days a week.
Okay. So tell us what working 3 days a week. So this ladies, is where this is so important with the law of attraction, is we have to be totally clear on what we want, right? So this is really good. So you're saying you want to work 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In those 3 days, have you decided on an income from that, Angela? You know what you need to make monetarily?
No, not really. I haven't.
Okay, so we'll talk about that later in an action step, because we're not there. Okay, so you don't know. And in the 3 days, what would you like your business to be comprised of?
I would like it to be, a couple of consultations, a staging per week.
So 2 consultations a day,
Yeah.
or
No, I would
No?
say, 1 or 2 consultations a day, and a staging, and then possibly a de-staging, because I've spent, I feel that I have enough inventory in my house right now that I don't want to I don't want to purchase anything additional. I'm happy with what I have
perfect,
right
excellent.
now.
Okay, good. Okay, excellent. All right. So, ladies, that's what Angela's looking for. I can think of some ideas myself, but I'm not going to throw those out there yet. So, Angela's goal right now is to increase business. Business had been growing steadily last year, but now it's kind of tapered off a bit. So what she's looking for is some guidance around how to grow her business. So Angela because I always say go back to the people that you've talked to previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some ideas, and I just want to see if Sylvia or Miller would like to give her some suggestions about how she can increase her sales and work the 3 days a week.
I wish I had the answers for you, Angela. Do you have specific agents that you've built relationships with?
Yes, definitely.
I
have about 5 that I work with on a regular basis.
Okay.
So it sounds like to me that you need to increase that, so that if the 5 aren't giving you the 3 days a week that you need, that it might take, twice that?
Yeah, that's where I struggle
finding
with
the
other agents.
And we're not struggling.
Oh yes, I'm in the process of
of attracting more realtors.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. And then I definitely, because what happens in Mastermind is we start to hear each other, right? And it's like, oh, I would do that. So this is why it's so good, because I can think of lots of ways to help Angela, but what's important too is just the ideas that you've got, because they will help you as well, right? So Sylvia, please go ahead.
I know that what's really helped me get in touch with more realtors is I've offered to do, the realtors usually have like a weekly meeting.
Yes.
And they like someone to come in and give a presentation on what your services are.
Mm-hmm.
So I've put together a presentation that I'll go in and I'll say, do you guys have a weekly meeting, and do you need someone to come in and talk for about 15 minutes? And usually I just give tips. Like, I don't talk so much about, I'll show before and after pictures, but I'll help them. So I'm not trying to sell myself, but it always gets more business for me anyway. And then I get to leave cards and pamphlets and that kind of thing. And the other thing I've done is, I don't know if you're on Facebook or not, it's kind of hard for business right now, but because they're making it harder on Facebook, but I can't tell you how much business I've gotten out of that.
Social media.
Social media, and now I'm starting to realize the power of Google Plus, or Google, and in fact, this is an example of it. So I wasn't using Google to its potential, and now I will, because it is the growing one, whereas Facebook seems to be losing. Go ahead. I'm done. I was just
Okay. So. Sylvia, I'm pretty sure you've done presentations, right?
Yes. Angela? Oh,
or Angela, I'm sorry, Angela,
yes. Yes, I did that sort of when I was, when I started my business, I started doing presentations, and I guess I wasn't crazy about doing them, and I probably got 1 or 2 agents each time I did a presentation.
Okay.
So, and followed up with them,
Yep.
connecting with them on LinkedIn, and got them on my newsletter list.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's because there's a lot of stagers in my area, or in kind of the Southern Ontario area. There seems to be a lot of us. So I don't know if people are already working with stagers. When I've gone to their offices, they're still already working with the stager. And so I did do the presentation, but I didn't get, more than maybe one or two agents.
Right, but one or two is actually pretty good, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a start. So an area that I'd like to touch on, I think Sylvia's got some good ideas there. So Angela, you could consider revisiting doing some talks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Because
yeah, I've been thinking about that as
okay,
well.
so let's Angela, let's write that down for one of your action steps then, is to contact, how many offices could you contact?
You know what, Dana? That's the struggle for me too, right? We talked about this when
Okay,
you
we're
were
not struggling.
in the process. Okay,
Yeah.
what's another word? Because
Opportunity.
I don't,
Opportunity.
I hate calling offices. I hate doing that.
Okay, so right there. So hey, we want to get rid of that word. So so think about this as an opportunity, Angela. How's your networking?
My networking is great. I belong to a couple of different organizations, and I have met some women, and actually I'm getting some redesign clients through that. But I'm
Okay,
finding...
I'm gonna talk about redesign in a minute. But
okay.
could you go to some new networking groups where you could meet some realtors? Are you doing BNIs?
I'm not doing BNI. I see. It seems that a lot of the realtors are not going to the networking events.
What about BNIs?
Yeah, I guess I just didn't want to commit financially to a BNI.
Okay, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You can always go. Yeah, you've got to get yourself out more, Angela, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're kind of, and I'm not being disrespectful here, but sometimes when we've done things in the past that didn't work, we say, oh, they're not going to work again. But
Mm-hmm.
you'd be surprised if we put, because other people may be feeling the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put some different energy into that, and you can always go to BNI as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's always realtors at BNIs. I think it's important right now that you meet more realtors.
Yes. Yeah.
That's your goal.
Yeah.
So, so that's one of the things we'll put down as an action step, is to contact more realtors, and we'll come back to this at the end. But the other thing I want to talk to you about, where you've got absolutely a gold mine of business, is in the redesign world.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got so many past clients, right? I mean, that's where I made clients that you've staged their home and they've moved in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would, if anything, I would like to see you make that maybe as your action step, where you're contacting past clients.
Mm-hmm.
And promoting the redesign.
I actually did something for Valentine's Day where I put it on Facebook and LinkedIn and all my social media.
Yeah.
Was offering a Valentine's makeover for that special someone for, a reduced price.
Yeah.
I said $5.99 per room, and that would include painting of the room, personal shopping, an in-home consultation, and setup. So.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you my thoughts about that. If your intention was for somebody to buy that for their wife
Mm-hmm.
or girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
they won't do it.
No.
Because, and I say this from experience, where I had a wife come up to me and ask me who did I think I was, implying that her home wasn't nice.
Oh.
It's like, yike-a-doodles, never did that. So I never talked to men about, even suggested that I come in and look at their home. So I think it's, it was a possibility, but I don't think it's the best one, because of what I said.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could contact your past clients, but I mean by phone,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know what? You just got my newsletter, right, about relationship connections,
Yes, yeah.
about making those sales calls.
That's why I made those 5 calls.
I love it. I love it. But contacting your past clients, those are major warm and fuzzy calls. Those are not, there's nothing cold about that, right? So that I would like to see as your action step is, think about ways you can meet new realtors, so we're going to put that out there, but I'd like to see your goal as contacting your past clients and promoting your redesign, because you have such a gift for it. And it usually takes people about 2 years once they move in before they want to do something new in their home. So I'm going to write that down. So on your sheet, so you would have gone to that third box, which says, here's where I could use some help, right?
Yeah.
So you can see it there. So you're going to write in, I want you to write in attracting more clients.
Okay.
Because that's really what you want to do, right? Is attract more clients. And then what you're committing to do next week, what would that be?
Phoning some offices for the lunch and learns.
Okay.
Because I actually was approached by a woman who owns Staging or Downsizing Diva, and she wants me to go into real estate offices on her behalf, as well as, I guess, cross-promoting my business. Yeah,
Excellent.
and she'll pay me to go in, so I wasn't getting paid to go in.
Hello. Excellent. Okay, so that's one. And then what else are you committing to?
And then I probably wouldn't call past clients because I don't know that I would have current phone numbers for them, because once they've moved, we generally, they're moving into different, and 2 hours away or 3 hours away. We have a lot of people that are leaving kind of the Brampton area. So I would definitely send them an email, because I do have emails for them. So I could contact past clients through email.
Okay, so what I'd like to suggest is any that you can phone that are still in your area, you contact them, right, by phone. And then the other ones, what I would suggest, Angela, is that you get their, email them, but ask them for their new address.
Okay.
And that's all I would do in that email is, just, say or you could even put in the subject, keeping in touch. I know you've moved. I never did. Do you have their addresses or?
No, their new addresses.
And that's one thing stagers do all the time is I was guilty of it too. Like we never followed up with when they moved, unless I was doing a redesign, right? But anyway, so get their address, and then what I want you to do, Angela, is I want you to send them a card.
Okay.
Now, do you send out cards or no?
Yes, I have used them before.
Easy peasy, right? So do the send out cards. And that way, they're going to start to think of you.
Okay.
Right? It's like, oh yeah, I remember Angela. And in that card, you're going to ask them, is it time for a makeover?
Okay.
Right? Time for a home makeover. Okay, so can you commit to that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so I think because what you're doing is you're getting the energy moving in the right direction, right? You're and that's good. And I applaud you. Whoops, let me just show you me cheering, applauding, because I know you don't like to make phone calls. So good for you that my newsletter inspired you to make 7, because that's awesome, right? And you know what? Even from those 7. You could also send them a send out card.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's always about keeping in touch with people. So that's your situation. Okay. All right. So Miller's just stepped away for a minute, maybe to the loo or whatever. So Sylvia, we're going to go with you. Okay.
Okay.
And
Sylvia, can I ask Sylvia what's the name of her business?
Oh yeah, we didn't get that, Sylvia.
No.
It's Home Staging Works. So it's just Home Staging Works, and then the website's www.homestagingworks.com.
Works spelled with an X or with a...
Yes.
With an X.
Works.
Yeah.
XS?
No,
XS. Works, like Home Staging Works.
WORKS.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, Sylvia. So let me just put the timer on. Okay. Go ahead.
My challenge, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. So just, I need you to state it.
Okay, so I'd like to find more time for myself. So when you're saying state it, I don't
So
know
you want,
how I'm supposed to say it. Okay.
Okay, so on here where it says, here's what I could use help with, that one, you're going to write
Okay.
down better time management.
Okay.
Right? Because isn't that really what you're looking for?
Right. Right.
So better, yeah,
Okay.
the more specific we can be, the more we can tackle that goal. So better time management.
Yeah, I should kind of tell you the big picture where I think that I'm headed, or where I've thought my solution is going to come from as far as finding it.
Okay.
Is I'm getting I'm inventorying all the things in the warehouse. I'm actually considering packaging the home staging works business and selling it. So I'm considering that, so that I don't, because my fear is as I grow, or even now I'm managing people.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna, I don't see how it's easier to continue with that part of it.
Yeah. So did you not have an inventory
also,
system before?
No.
And you had
I just
26
bought
homes?
furniture. I was only by myself, so my 2 kids would help me. So like we would just get a job. I'd go buy the inventory, and then it'd go to another house or come back to their house, and it just grew like that over the years. And I don't have an inventory, so I have Darby inventory right now. And even on the plane over here, I was entering. So I've taken pictures of just about everything, and now I'm entering one by one. And I don't even know. I can't figure Darby out to figure out if I can even enter. I may have to start from scratch and just do a spreadsheet. So it's going to be so time consuming, but I'm the only one who knows how much everything's worth. So for someone else to come in and do it, I don't know how that would work. I've already hired people to come and take pictures of everything and enter it. I just have to now put the value of everything in there. And I don't have accessories. I just have in there, I just the furniture and the art and, you know, bigger accessories in there. So it's going to be really time consuming, but so, and if there's if I could get suggestions maybe on another way of thinking about this, but my goal is more time and still be able to be creative.
Right. Sorry, you've just gone a bit out there.
Other places and to get more involved in teaching.
Yeah, sorry, Sylvia.
In fact, I've already working. Am I back?
Yeah, you have a little bit of a broken connection.
Am I back? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I've been working with a woman that I met in Park City, Utah, and she is part of the Redesign and Staging Academy. And they want me to be a teacher and be able to teach other people staging and design. So I'm considering that as well. Then again, I so I teach some valuable information that would help other people from making the same mistakes I did, get easier for them to be successful, and make as much money. That would be something I'm considering as well. I haven't committed to anything with them. So I've just kind of got all of these things. I think there's a lot of stress involved in owning this much inventory because I'm always worried it's getting scratched, dinged, and every time we move it, I'm worried about the amount of money that's in it, because with 26 houses of furniture, I just want to take the money out of it. I just want to sell it because I'm afraid having that much money committed to something that I can get the money out and I could buy a lake house with a little vacation place that I could bring my kids to, because the whole point of this business was I was a single mom and I wanted to spend time with my kids. And I'm not spending any time with them. In fact, they're coming with me. They're working with me. And if they want to, so it's defeating its purpose right now. So I want to sell part of it and still be able to be creative and have that outlet. My kids go to their dad's every third week. They're gone. So I like filling my time with something I'm passionate about, and soon my kids will be older, and so I want continue doing this kind of work, but I'm doing more and more redesign or design, and I don't have a degree in that. I'd like to go back to school even and take some classes, you know.
Woo!
So
Alrighty.
there you go. There's a lot
Woo!
there.
There is a lot there indeed. All right. So, my dear Sylvia, I would say for you, the best thing for you to do is to look at all these possibilities. You know, having the inventory, selling the inventory, being a teacher. Because I had my own staging school, so I know intimately what all that involves and all of that. So you've got a lot of things, a lot of inventory. I think what you first and foremost need to do is get really clear on what are the things you love to do. And then when you're really clear on the things that you love to do, then we could start looking at a bigger picture game plan, right?
Yes.
Because right now you just got everything and the balls are juggling, and I'm overwhelmed listening to you.
My life is overwhelming.
Yeah, because you've got all these opportunities, right? So
yeah, I do. It's a great problem to have. I just don't know where to go. Yeah.
So I would say it's a great opportunity to have, rather than a problem, right? It's a great opportunity. So I'm going to use a little bit of law of attraction with you, and I'm going to have you do something very specifically. But right now I'd like to ask the ladies if they have anything that they want to say about this, any ideas that have popped into their head. So Angela, I'll start with you first because you can't raise your hand. So let's see if you've got something.
What you said for Sylvia as well, I think, is that she has to decide which direction she wants to go in. Does she want to sell the business, or does she want to teach, or do you want? You can't. I don't think you can do all of those things and still manage.
Be alive. No.
Yeah. Be alive. So for me, if I was at her point in my life, I would definitely have someone in the prospect of buying into the staging company so that they could take the role. If I wanted a little bit more time off, then I would have someone who was, my equal that could take over when I wanted more time to myself.
Yeah. So,
like, I would love to do all those things that she's talking about as well, but I realized there's no way that you could do all of those things and still have quality of life with your family and with your new husband.
Right.
And I'm clear that I don't want to continue doing the staging the houses part. I love it. I love the transformation part of it, but I'm tired of carrying things around and having my car loaded with stuff. And I mean, I'm just getting tired of doing it. It's a long time, and I'm tired of moving that couch out as soon. And it's, we move it in, and 1 month we're moving it back out. I'm tired of it. So I'm like clear that much. That part of it will be sold, and I go to who.
Sorry, Sylvia, you're in and out. Can you say that again?
I don't want to dismantle the business. Like most stagers, when they get out of the business, they'll sell piece by piece the furniture because it's successful, and I already have the connections with the realtors and the builders. I think it's something I could package and sell. And if I were to do that, then I could go to that person if I ever needed somebody to stage a house and refer business to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to me that that's a big chunk right there out of my hair. I don't need to do contracts for people anymore. I don't need to.
So that's selling the
worry
business?
About the inventory, selling that part. Selling the business. And then I could start a new business. That would be my new name, which is Sylvia Dunn, not under Sylvia Manuel, which everybody knows me by. And I could start a new business and incorporate the things that I love. The transformation process is what I love. I love taking something that's not so pretty and making it pretty. So
okay.
So
and that's where your design comes in, and you may decide to take more courses and things like that. Something that you could possibly do down the road, Sylvia, as you said, is possibly the teaching, right? Because you'd have specific blocks of time, but you also might be a good coach as well
Right.
for stagers, you know, and that's something that can be very flexible as well. But so I really like Angela's idea there, looking at what direction you want to go. So I'm going to talk about selling the business because I sold my business.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we'll talk about that. And then, Miller, did you have anything that you want to add or any questions you want to throw out there for Sylvia?
I don't know that it's anything new, but you said you had a lead stager. Is that right?
Yes.
So it seems like you already have someone built in who might be interested in buying in as a partnership. And maybe you wouldn't have to let go completely to maintain some of that income while you continue to study, design, or redesign to be able to build that other side of the business. Or you could maintain some part of it while they are buying into the
Yeah,
business.
so let's just see. So what about the lead stager?
And you could even mentor them.
Right, and kind of she came on board about a year ago. She's staging a house right now, so I can leave and she can do it. And I would love, that is my hope, is that she will be the one to buy it. I haven't talked to her about this because I just hired her a year ago and she loves doing what she's doing, but she's young.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have enough money to purchase it, or that I've thought about like being partnering with somebody because that's a whole nother. To me, it still seems like it would have a lot of stress involved in it if I was partnering with somebody.
I agree.
So about just selling it. Yeah. So I love that idea though, and if I did want to continue with it, I'm just worried because you see, it's like when I destage a house, I'm very careful with the accessories and everything, and I see them thrown. When other people are doing it, they didn't have to buy it, so they're just not taking care of it. And every time I see a picture frame, it's got a scratch. You know, it's driving me crazy because it's just a bunch of money being wasted.
Yeah, I totally get that. So what I would like to sort of summarize all of this, I think we know what the most important thing is here, Sylvia. And as far as time management goes, it is for you to have more time with your family. So in a perfect world, what would that look like, Sylvia? More time?
Well, I could be done at 5. You know.
Okay, so I want you to be very specific here. So what would your Sunday to Saturday look like?
Sunday, I'm not working at all.
Sunday, no work. Yeah.
Right. Monday, maybe I work all day, but I'm off I would love to be off at 3 every day.
Okay, so all right, so that's something that we want to look at then. So off at 3 daily, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's really important to be really clear about what you want. I'm going to send you what's called a clarity through contrast worksheet. I'll email that to you.
Okay.
Angela has done these before, so she knows what I'm talking about. And Miller, it may be something that will work for you, but it's a let's see if I've got one. Yes. I do these all the time. It's going to look like this. I'm going to do this one for it. Yeah, you're going to put in here, you're going to have this sheet, and on this side is everything that you don't want, and over here is what you do want. So basically, you're going to look at your ideal work week, okay? So everything you don't want, and once you scratch out what you don't, you put a line through what you don't want, you write over here what you do want, and then what you do is you just look at what you do want. I actually have mine, I look at mine every day. I have a few of them. So I want you to, so I'll send you one of those, and you're going to do that just for what you want your week to look like.
Okay.
Okay, and that way, the clearer we get, the more the universe can bring us what we want. Because right now you're talking so many things. Universe going, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. Right? Okay, more furniture, right? More clients, no more clients, right? So we're going to make it very simple. So when you do that contrast through clarity, you're going to put in there that what you don't want is 40 plus hours work week. You want 3 days at X number of hours, right? Or sorry, 5 days. Is it 5 days you want to work, or?
Yeah, I don't mind working 5 days as long as I'm off at 3 every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So see how much clearer you are on that?
Yeah.
But what I'd like you to commit to on this, whoops, sorry, we're just about out there, but that's good. On this sheet, what I'm committing to, what I'd like you to do is start, I think you need to sell the business, Sylvia.
I do too. Thank you
Yeah,
for.
I do.
Yeah. My
Listening
husband
to,
would love to hear you say that, so I'll tell him.
no, I think it's time. What I want you to commit to is prospecting for a potential buyer.
Okay, I'm actually. Okay.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Sylvia.
Oh, I was an attorney who. Am I still there?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm working with an attorney who actually values business, and he told me to go inventory everything before and then make an appointment with him. So my goal that I'll have to do is to inventory everything before I can move on. That's kind of why I've been trying to get it all in there.
Yeah, and I also talked to lawyers and accountants and all of that when I was selling my business. Now, mine was different because I did sell some of my inventory, but mine was more my training company.
Okay.
Right, so I sold that business, but it's still selling a business is selling a business. So I looked at a lot of purchase agreements online to see what kinds of things they would value, and then I started adding everything up. And Sylvia, I only talked to sell my business, I think I talked to maybe 6 people, and only 3 of those did I actually have a real conversation with, and I sold my business within 3 months.
Okay, well, I'm grateful for learning from your experience
Yeah.
how I can do that.
Yeah.
Or
So
get
that's
anywhere near that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big part of law of attraction. I mean, you have more to sell, but so what, right? So what the lawyer said, so prospecting for potential buyers, so how soon can you get your inventory, figure out what that's worth?
You know, if I had more time, because I honestly don't know how long it's going to take me, but I could try to get it done in maybe a couple weeks.
Okay, so we're just gonna relanguage everything you just said.
Okay.
So I would say, so your commitment is within 2 weeks to have assessed the value of your inventory.
Okay.
Because that's very doable, right? Do you feel that?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, we want to write, and this is where if you have to get your lead stager to do a bit more, then do that, right? Because this has got to be priority because, my dear, what's going to suffer is your health.
No, it already is. So.
Yeah, okay, so we want to stop that right now, right? Because I know exactly where you're at, right? Yeah, so does that make sense to you then? You've committed to that?
Yes.
Excellent, okay, I like that. All right, good. Miller, yes, Miller.
Nana?
Yes.
In one of my networking groups, there is a business broker. He buys, sells. He doesn't buy businesses. He helps people buy and sell businesses, and he can help with. A person like that can help with the assessment, not only the legal things that an attorney.
Yeah.
The value of all of that. If I could ask him, I could connect you, and you could just talk to him about how to get connected with somebody if you wanted, Sylvia.
Oh, that'd be
or what the
fantastic.
value of working with someone like that would be, and you could decide if it would be valuable to you.
Yes, yes. That sounds great.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you, Miller.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, perfect. And so you should have each other's email. This is why it's good, because you could go in the community, and Miller, you could just put that person's name in there, and then Sylvia could get it, right? Or you could send it through the chat. But it will be a process, Sylvia, and it might take 6 months,
That's
for
okay.
you. Yeah, 6 months, but at least you're going to start right now. February, great time to start the process, right? Because I too talked to a broker as well, but they were going to take too much money from me. They're a broker, right? So they're the middleman, but there's there is reason to have lawyers. You know, there's lots of legal things you have to do, and then you have to decide on, you know, what the business is worth, what you're going to sell it for, and what someone is willing to pay. Right? But I think the main thing is, yeah, let's sell that business, because you've got so many other things that you can do, and you're creating a whole new life for yourself.
I am.
That's very exciting. All right, Miller, I'm going to put the timer on. So what can we help you with today? Yes. Miller.
I feel like I have a lot of challenges.
Okay, and opportunities.
Probably one of the biggest opportunities. Yes, and it is an opportunity being in this group.
It is. Great.
So it is. Probably the two biggest ones, one of the biggest ones, as I mentioned to you, Dana, is pricing.
Pricing, okay.
My pricing, I don't know how to price anything. And
so is this for services or inventory?
I feel like I'm pricing. I feel like I'm pricing for our market, but our market doesn't really support staging. It's Asheville is the kind of town, and I lived in another town before I moved to Asheville that was very similar to this. It was Marblehead, Massachusetts, and people. I left Marblehead right at the start of the downturn in the economy. Everybody was saying, well, this is Marblehead. Nothing will ever, you know, the prices won't change here. Of course they did. Yeah. They dropped drastically. And when I first moved to Asheville, everybody was saying, well, this is Asheville. Nothing will happen here. And, of course, it finally did. It did take longer, but it did. As they said, it used to be if it had a roof on it, it either sold or rented. If it had a roof on it and it was in Asheville, it either sold or rented. So staging is not a concept that's been embraced here by everybody, any means. Mm-hmm. They made a lot of money selling properties and renting properties without staging.
Okay.
And there's an education process to it. I've actually worked with a lot of realtors. I sort of had an in with Keller Williams. I've done a lot of training with them, and I still don't get a lot of business from them. It's I only have 2 realtors who consistently call me, and I am like Angela in that I need probably a good 10 to make this business work.
Okay, so let's take a look at
another thing. But I was just going to talk about some of my, I don't have a huge amount of inventory. I can stage about 3 houses. I see a lot partial stagings where I'm using their furniture and then bringing in other, accessories, artwork, things like that. What I really need to do, though, is what I really want to do is to build a solid base of income. And in listening to Angela and Sylvia talk, I wonder if maybe some of that could come. If I could just do a consultation business where I could do 2 consultations a day, 3 days a week, that would give me a base income that I could live from, and then build on top of that. Whether building on top of that is staging, I feel a little bit like Sylvia sometimes in moving that furniture and stuff around. It gets old. I mean, the results, I love doing it, but boy, going in to pull it all out of the storage unit and putting it in the cars and taking it, it's old.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's it. I love redesign. I'd love more of that. I'm not, whether it's staging or redesign, I'm not sure if I really care. Maybe I need to pinpoint it. But as long as I'm transforming spaces, I'm not sure if I really care which one it comes from. Okay. So long as I can price it right and get paid for it. And then the other thing is, I do have another business that really has more long-term potential. I just can't imagine how I could ever build a business to either have a business to sell or to retire. So I do have a business that has more long-term potential, and if I'm really trying to organize my thoughts here and how I would do things, it would be to say I would work 4 days a week in the staging, because I believe that's what could give me the base income now, but also devote at least one day a week to this other business, whereas right now I'm just doing that as I can. So,
what's the other business?
It's not. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's good health. It's growing your own vegetables in a 30-inch space, high-tech hydroponics. It's all about good health and nutrition. And I love it. I'm very passionate about that. I have been for most of my life. I'm pretty much on the alternative side when it comes to nutrition. I'm not a mainstream run to the doctor kind of person. I'm a we care kind of person.
Okay, all right.
So I love that, and I'd love to say, okay, I'm just going to devote one day a week to that, so that I really can't. Right now, I'm swimming and not doing anything. Doing whatever comes my way. I'm doing whatever comes my way,
Yeah, okay,
whether that's swimming against the current some days, or
I think
going with the flow, or whatever. Yeah. But I am not making my way.
Okay, yeah. It sounds like you're not in control, and that's what we need to get. So on your sheet, Miller, here's where I could use some help. I think, too, that you need to, I'm going to send you that sheet as well, the clarity through contrast. So you're going to look at, what's your ideal week look like, right? So you can do that. I'll send you it. It's a 3-part form, but it's very self-explanatory, so you can do it. But right now, I wouldn't focus on the good health part. I think the best thing right now with this mastermind, maybe later on we will, but let's get you with a business model that's actually making you money, right? So I know some ideas that have popped into my head, so I'm just going to see if, so what are we going to put down for your, where you could use some help? I think is, I would say it's building a profitable business model.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what I think you need.
Yes.
You need help with.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really, you're kind of taking this or that or whatever comes your way, but we want you to have more control than that. And you can do that, okay? Does that make sense? So better.
It does.
Yeah.
And by the way, was it? I forgot whether it was Angela or Sylvia who said they were in business first. They were.
That was me.
What was it? Wait, that was Sylvia?
Yeah.
Is that right, Sylvia?
Yes.
Okay, so just so you know where I come from, I do not have a business mind. In fact, when I did, I had my what do you call this? Assessed. It was through Johnson O'Connor, and that is like one of the lowest things for me. I was getting ready to go to business school, and they said, "Do not waste your money. That's where your head is."
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Sylvia.
I'm an engineer.
Have you got some ideas, Sylvia, where she could? But see, remember too, Miller, you're talking about you've got this feng shui experience, you've got some decorating experience. You want to look at consultations. There's places where you can go with that. But Sylvia, you're on, my dear.
Okay, so I really identify what you're saying, Miller, about like trying to figure out what or your life is kind of creating your own direction each day. It's just I can honestly say that if I didn't have a business degree, I wouldn't have been able to get my business to the that it is now. But I didn't have the creative side. I always thought I was a business person, and so I didn't think I could draw. I didn't think I could create anything until I was. And so it's a second career. So I can tell you, you can learn it. You have what I wanted.
Yeah, you can learn how to run a business.
Just get someone to help you.
Do you have my book, Miller? Do you have this book?
No, I don't.
Well, this is my book on how to start and run a home staging business. It's been my Bible in business, and you can buy it. I think it's about $25 or something. But you can get it from the library. You can buy it as an ebook or whatever. But I think if you looked at that, you get a lot of good business ideas about it. But most importantly, Sylvia, let's go back with you about maybe what a business model could look like for her, knowing what her skills are. Well, she's in Mexico again. Angela, I'm going to go to you. We'll come back.
What you just...
We'll come back to Sylvia. Yeah, Angela, what would you think would get some consistent?
Well, what Miller said when she first started talking was about struggling with pricing, and I think that so many of us in the home staging business have that same.
Well, it's a mindset, right? It's a mindset that you have to struggle about your pricing.
Yeah, because you don't know what other people are charging. You want the job, so you're not sure. You don't want to overprice yourself and someone else do the job. And I know that that's somewhat that I am always wondering about. Am I charging enough? Should I charge more? This year I raised my prices, and I don't know. I think what you said, Dana, though, that she has a lot of other skills. I've never heard of green staging and the feng shui.
Yeah,
I know what that is, but to bring it into your business, and I think that that would help to differentiate herself. And maybe because it's not that widely known in her area, then probably for her going and doing the presentations with different offices would, or even seniors groups at libraries, at local paint stores, would help to get the word about home staging out into the community.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Seniors homes, all of those, or seniors groups anyways.
Homes. So Miller, do you do much, so with your pricing, there's a thing about pricing, either you have to charge more and do fewer, staging jobs, right? Right, and charge a price that's going to work in your market. But I think if you can start to look at consultations for these other areas, like if you're a feng shui expert, but it's looking at that, what's a good business model for you? Would you like to do consultations?
I would like to do staging consultations, not feng shui consultations.
Okay.
Feng shui, if you do, I could do feng shui consultations. Not the traditional ones, though. I could not do Flying Star without going back and studying it. I've been away from it. I've studied under 3 different masters, but it is it's very complicated.
Yeah.
So I heard somebody mention Western School of Feng Shui. That's where I went first. I could do that.
Yes, and that's what I used to do.
I just have such a heart for the. I just have such a heart for the traditional Flying Stars Feng Shui.
Yeah, but that's a whole other that's a whole other world. And I think when I just use the Bagua, and I would I'm not an expert in it. I'm trained in it to some point, but I would only do it if I was asked, right? So I wouldn't, and I do it myself, doing things. So maybe that's not something you want to do. But I think if you could look at more consultations. You talked about transforming homes. How many redesigns are you doing?
I do, maybe 2 or 3 a year. I have some ongoing clients who, literally for 6 and 7 years, we've been doing little bits here and there. So I always have them. But I just do probably 2 or 3 a year. I get a couple of small businesses.
Okay, so
that's really small.
Not enough.
Professionals.
That's not enough.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, so I do not have. I take more out of my retirement than I put in. Trust me.
Okay, well, we want to stop that, right? All right, Sylvia, you're back with us, so let's go for some advice here.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I was trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go to in business and what was going to make me more money. So I was looking at the occupied staging versus vacant, and versus doing, should I do consultations? Am I making more money doing consultations, or is it the vacant stagings that are bringing me more money? And when I added up, when I thought I'm going to work 3 days a week, I'm going to do 3 consultations on each one of those days. So that's 9 consultations. I charge $150 per consultation. It came out to $2,400 a month with no overhead. And that's a lot of money with no overhead. And when I looked at how much money I was spending on renting my warehouse, on hiring people to work for me, on the time involved in drawing up a contract, on going and looking at the house in the first place, it didn't make any sense for me to be doing vacant stagings at all. And so unless I charged a lot more, and in Spokane you can't do that. So if they'll pay me $150 to $200 for staging consultation for up to 2 hours, I would only have to work 3 days a week, and I could still have the satisfaction of doing what I needed to do and make $2,400 a month. I was like, what am I thinking? So I totally agree with Dana that if you just concentrate on, if that's what you like, and you concentrate on, because I could tell you kind of what I've learned, and I put a little package, kind of a little bag together, and I bring samples for flooring and samples of popular colors of paint, and I have everything with me, and so I've learned how to streamline it. So I'm done. When that consultation is over, I don't have to type anything up. I don't have to do anything. They have all the information they need to be successful. The realtor's happy because they come in to do the pictures, and it looks awesome. And I didn't do anything extra. Maybe I, had to look something up for them or whatever. But I have even lighting fixtures, So I have things streamlined to a way that makes it fun for me because I'm not picking up pieces after I left. And it's great because they have all the information at their fingertips.
Right. Great, Sylvia. Okay, that's really great advice. So Miller, what do you think about the idea of committing to getting more consultations? I know you like the transformation, but we need to get you making more money right now, right? We need you to be more profitable.
We do.
And by getting more consultations, I'm very confident that staging jobs will come from that as well. But you've got to increase your numbers. You're not doing enough, right? So it's those. So I think the focus on the consultation is what's going to start to bring you more money, so that you're looking for that baseline. I think those consultations could give you that baseline. They certainly did for me as well. So Miller, do you think
I actually charge more for consultation than I do. I charge $250 now for a consultation.
Oh,
And it could take 2.5 hours. It could take 2.5 hours. I might even sometimes be there 3 hours. But I tell them that it's based on 2 to 2.5 hours. I feel like when we do a consultation, it's not an hourly rate. I don't put that in my head. I feel like I'm giving them information that's really invaluable, and it's more than just an hourly fee for that information.
So with the $250,
so I feel like
Miller, are you giving them a package? Are you giving them notes, report? What are you giving them? Just verbal?
I don't do a walk and talk very well. I ask them to take notes.
Okay.
And most of them do. If it's an older person, I'll take notes and just give it to them.
Okay, so you're not
which I do
up a
sometimes.
report or anything. So that's good money.
It is.
No, I give them resources if they need it. I give them paint colors, all of that. But I don't. It's good money.
Okay, so we just need to increase those.
I did when I looked at it a minute ago. If I could do 2 of those a day, 3 days a week, that would give me a base of $6,000 a month.
Sounds good.
Which would make me happy.
Okay, so Miller, I think what we're all saying here is that you're going to have to change your business model a bit, and I would say what you could commit to would be increasing the number of consultations that you do per week. Could you commit to that? Does that make sense for you?
It does.
Okay, and then we'll just talk about how to do that. So increase the number of consultations per week. So you've got that as your goal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
My pleasure indeed. Now, let's just give Miller a little bit of advice about how she could do that, right? So Miller, how much networking do you do? Physical.
I do a lot of networking. I'm sorry, networking, did you say?
Yeah, in person. Not social media, but in person.
I have a networking group through the Chamber of Commerce similar to a BNI, up in the same way as a BNI. I substitute now and then for people with BNIs. Interestingly enough, when I've gone to the BNI groups, none of the real estate agents there use stagers. And they stage houses. Some of them stage houses themselves.
Okay, I want you to stop
real
right
estate
there.
agent
Stop right there.
Mhm.
Stop right there.
Okay.
The way that I got realtors to use my staging services was by simply offering them a consultation that they could buy for me for their client. I didn't talk about spending the $1,000 on staging. All I talked about was the recommendations that I could give them, and I put a little package together of typical with some before and after pictures. If you just sell the consultation and think in your mind that realtors could afford that for their client, or maybe their client pays 50% and they buy a gift certificate for 50% as well, right? Is that something that's possible?
Actually, I like the idea of the 50%, and I've talked to the real estate agents I work with about that. Some of them have paid for consultations. Yeah. Realize that if the client have buy-in to it, that oftentimes the client doesn't appreciate it, doesn't want to do any of the follow-through with it. So I have told those two realtors that if they would say, recommend a consultation to their client and say, and I will even pay half of it for you. Yeah. That's my commitment to you. I think we would have a better outcome with the client.
And another place where I got 85% of my business from women homeowners, not realtors. Because I started in this business, 14 years ago, right? So realtors weren't into this, but I met these women at networking groups. So I looked for as many women's networking groups as I could, not realtors, just women, anybody. So when I do my infomercial, I talk to them about the benefits of having a consultation to sell their house. And because they have a big investment in that, then the women that I talk to, the homeowners, would buy, not the realtors. Is that something you could try at your networking?
It is, but I haven't met anybody yet through networking who's selling their house.
Okay, so we've got to change that possibility, right? There's got to be somebody out there that's selling their house. Now, do you do very much social media, Miller?
On social media?
Yeah, like Facebook and LinkedIn and.
No, I'm not active. I mean, I'm on it, and I post
so
something.
That's something that we could talk about another time as well, because that's where the women of that age group where your ideal client is, they are on Facebook. So you want to be showing some of the consultations. You want to be posting testimonials, but we're going to talk about that at a separate thing. So was that helpful for you? Have you got some ideas there about getting those? Meeting new contacts.
Yes.
Okay.
And I go back to what Angela said the first time too about the senior groups.
Yeah, seniors' homes. Absolutely.
We are downsizing.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Thank you very much.
A lot of those women have money, even if they don't look it, right? We never ever think, judge a book by its cover, right? Okay. All right, ladies, so we're absolutely on time, which is great. We started about a half hour later today just because of the housekeeping and getting everybody sorted out. So even if Monique does join us next week, we'll be good to keep on time. So just like a quick check-in here, Angela, can you tell us what you've committed to?
Yes. I'm going to contact some of my past clients through an email to get their new address.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send out cards to them.
Right.
And I'm going to contact some offices. I'd like to focus about 20 minutes from my house in the Orangeville area, which I haven't done a lot of staging in that area, so I'd like to increase that. So that's where I'm going to focus on contacting the offices.
Excellent. Okay. And Sylvia? What's your commitment?
Within 2 weeks, I will have assessed and value on all my inventory.
Great.
To sell the business, and I'll be prospecting for buyers.
Great. Excellent. All right. And Miller, what are you going to do?
Well, what you had asked me to do is commit to a number of consults per week. That's
Right.
a little bit less. I have to really figure out, how I'm going to do that. Put together a plan for that
Yes.
is what I will say for next week. And
Okay.
also buy your book, so that will give me a basis for
Good.
how I might organize a business. And then I have last week I was referred to 2 real estate agents, and I will follow up with them when I get home.
Oh, fabulous.
Next week I'll follow up with them.
Yeah. So talk to them about the consultation. Hey, guys, even embarrass them about being cheap if you have to, whatever, right? Okay, good. All right. So
Right.
just, Angela, we'll just start with you. So did you find this valuable?
Yes, definitely. It's always good to hear people that are at different stages and what their solutions would be. So I always find that helpful.
Great. Thanks, Angela. And Sylvia, good for you?
Yes, I like that the way you do things is based on the law of attraction, because I believe that too. And I think because I put it out there, that's why I'm here. I put it out there that I want to sell the business, and I was thinking maybe this isn't the right direction, but now I know it is, because the experience you have.
It's so freeing. When I sold my business last year, people say, do I miss it?
Is just
No. Good. Okay. And Miller, was this good for you then? Got you?
I haven't stayed.
Oops. Sorry.
Sylvia said saying
Sorry, Sylvia.
something else.
Okay, or not. We'll come back to her. Miller, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I find it very valuable already, so I'm glad to be a part of this group. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And it's a pleasure to meet you, because we've known each other for, I think about 4 years ago we had initial conversation before RISA or something, and because I do remember you. Yeah, great. And Sylvia, this was good for you? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, and so it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. So I'm going to stop the broadcast, and this broadcast will be in our community. And by next week, I hope to have everybody in the community, and it'll be posted. You can also have discussions in there as well. You can get to know each other better.
Dana,
And, yes.
Before you go, I got to the Google Hangout by going through the link that you emailed all of us.
Right.
Is there another way that you can go?
Yes. Now that you're in the community, right? So that the link is always in the community as well.
Oh,
but I also like to email it to people, because sometimes they forget. So I will always email you the link like I did, but it's always in the community. That's why I'm trying to get everybody in the community.
Okay, so as long as we're part of the community, we should be.
Yeah, you can be on this program without being in the community, but I'd rather you're in the community. No one else is going to see this video. It's private for us. But like I say, you can have more discussion. You can introduce yourself a bit more if something's going on in the week, or if you have a success. We want to hear about it. Whoa, got a new realtor, or got 2 new consultations or something, right? That's what keeps the energy going. And that's what law of attraction is all about, right? Is having that positive energy. Because as entrepreneurs, it's easy to spiral down, ladies. I've been there, right? And that's why I'm always in a mastermind, or I hire coaches, right? Because we're not expected to do everything on our own. Okay, Sylvia's back. So Sylvia, was this good for you?
Yes, it was. I don't know how much of the conversation I was having before that you actually got. But the law of attraction I was saying is something I believe that this is certainly proving it right here, because with the experience that everyone has, I can tell it's going to be probably the most powerful thing I've done up to this point to figure out what to do.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to send Miller and Sylvia, I'll send you what's called the 3-step deliberate attraction process, and you can work with that on your own, and we can talk about it next week as well. All right, then. Have a great weekend.
Dana, I have one quick question.
Yes.
Miller. When we go into this Google Plus thing, and it comes up, it says, are these your friends, your acquaintances, your something else, or do you follow? What are we supposed to be doing? And when people invite us to join and all
well,
that,
you can look at it, see if you want to join
do?
or not. You decide, but the best thing to do is, if you want to, you can create circles with people. So you could have all of us in the Mastermind circle. So it's just kind of like putting people in groups, right? But don't follow anybody you don't want to, or you don't have to accept any invitation. Yeah, maybe at another time I can share my screen with you so I could explain a little bit more about it. We could do that another time, if that would be valuable, because the Google is it's the new sandbox for social media. But Miller, I don't believe that your clients are going to be playing in the Google sandbox yet. I think Sylvia's clients may, Angela's clients may, but so that's, I would focus on, and we'll get you focusing on Facebook. Just have one social media site that you become an absolute genius at it. And we can talk about another time how to market. Like, you need a social media strategy, and that's something that I do in coaching as well, because I love it. It's what brings me business, right? Because where did you find me? You found me doing a post on LinkedIn, right? So, we'll talk about that.
I don't know. You must, or maybe you did. I don't know. Or an email. I can't remember.
Might have messaged you or whatever, right? Like, we can, yeah. So we'll talk about that another time, okay? Bye, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm closing us off now. We're no longer live.